All clean. Hey y'all, welcome to Miracle Farm 1927, and this year is 2023's molasses making and sorghum harvest. So we got a lot of questions that we've gotten on all our molasses videos, and as we go through all these steps, we are going to be answering a lot of your questions that's come in. And if you have more questions, just send them on in and we'll answer those too. So Miracle, what have you got in your hand? So this is a certified cane cutter. So my mom found this at a garage sale. The family had grown cane in the past, and this is just one they had for sale at their house sale. So Mama went ahead and grabbed it because it was in our neighborhood, so it's a little bit of historical nature in our own backyard. And what's you got? And then this one right here is a certified from Tractor Supply last year cane cutter. And Daddy's done sharpen the blades on all of these, so they have a pretty sharp edge, and the rest of them looks kind of questionable. But these tools, the cane cutters, have their own little notched blade on the very top, and that's to pull down leaves with. And that's how that one works. So this here is my tobacco hatchet from where I grew burley tobacco. So I have not grown burley tobacco in a few years, but these tools are still being used out here in the sorghum patch. So to chop off leaves with this, I just pull them down with the tool itself, but it's not made for this particular job, so it's not as good at it. So sometimes you have to do an extra step and pull the leaf down completely because it doesn't cut it off because it's not got a blade edge at the bottom. Okay, for our next question, when did we plant this?
It was about the second week in June.
And this is the second week in October. And is this sorghum or sugar cane?
This is sorghum.
And why don't we grow sugar cane?
Our growing season's not long enough in between frost dates, and South Carolina's about the furthest north that you can grow it.
Okay, and our vat holds 100 gallons of juice, and 100 gallons cooks down to about 10 or 11 gallons. How many row feet of sorghum do we grow to fill up that vat?
We normally shoot for 12 to 1,400 feet to grow for our vat. We normally try to grow extra because we don't know what the season's going to be, but it looks like we're going to be fine this year with about 12 to 1,400 feet.
Okay, Righteous, I got some questions about the heads that are full of grain. So what do we do with them?
Well, usually we keep a lot of them for seed because it takes a lot for seed. You wouldn't think it would, but it does. It takes a lot of them heads because some of the seeds aren't ready to fall out yet. So it takes quite a few heads. We usually go through about a box full of them just to get seeds from them. And also another thing we do with them, we lease a bunch of pastures, and the pastures usually we have to lease are pastures that were forgotten, they didn't get taken care of, and so we use them to throw out there. You just throw them out. That's a good thing about cane. You throw it out and it just grows wherever you throw it.
Wherever you throw it.
Wherever you throw it, you can see.
Right there beside the chicken pen some, here beside the mulch pile some, and here at the summer kitchen, all around. Wherever a head has, we've mowed out there, but there'd be some out there too.
So we do that because that brings nutrients out of the soil, and it brings it up, and then you chop it down with bush hog, and that puts nutrients back on the soil. We actually have a pasture that we were working on, and they all come up, and there's just yellow. There's John Deere yellow when they come up because the land was so poor, but after we bush hog it, that puts ground cover on the ground. So that's one thing we do. And people ask us if we make feed out of it, and the problem with feed is it doesn't keep like other grains. It's got a lot of moisture in it, and we don't have a way to dry it, so it rots really fast. So that's one reason we can't make feed out of it. But
Okay, I'll have you some more questions in a minute.
yeah.
Hey, Cousin Josh, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Well, we gotta strip all the leaves off. This stuff, the fodder, it ain't no, we don't run that through your press because it'll gum it up. And we take some of it, we feed it to the animals, but we leave most of it on the ground for the grazing animals to eat. So, works pretty good. Good source of protein and all.
Absolutely. So everybody's got them a row. Miracle is using the cane tool to get the ones that are higher. Righteous, he's pretty tall, so he can get them. Now, another question that we get asked is, why in the world don't we wait till we cut it when it's laying on the trailer to get the leaves off? Simple answer is, once you cut these, if you still have the leaves on them, it makes the top heavy and they will break. And it's hard to get them through the cane mill when they're broken. The other reason is, if you throw them on the trailer with the leaves on, they're going to get all tangled up, and you'll have to pull them off one at a time, put them in the cane mill to pull the fodder off. So this is not only going to feed the animals, it's going to feed the ground where it's just grown. And they are getting it done. Unlike others that are here, I'm a little vertically challenged. She's short. She is short.
It's vertically challenged, Miracle. No. But I can get all the lower ones.
Okay. She just followed us up here.
That's not a normal thing. It's not.
Okay, Righteous is 6 foot tall, and reach up, Righteous.
They selectively bred cows.
And this is the
Selectively bred cows
tallest one we got.
to be a main.
So it's double your size. Oh, it's more than double your size.
It's about 14 foot.
About 14 foot. Everybody's coming out the end of the row now. Let's see, that was my row, Miracle's row, Righteous's row. Now he's going back, helping Josh. And Daddy's coming right along. We are just stripping 5 rows because we did 6 last year and we had too many and they just had to lay on the trailer. So we are just doing 5, and then a lot of people want to come and they want to know the whole process. So we'll let them come out here and have fun doing some of it themselves. We got Papaw back there slacking on the lawnmower because he went and hurt his hand, so he wouldn't have to help us. We had to draft Lacey. She's over here helping me cut. We're here on the trailer cutting off the heads. And they are cleaning it up here. Joey's pulling us up so they don't have to walk so far. Okay, Daddy, tell me why we're not using a weed eater with a blade on it, or a sickle mower or something like that.
Well, you want to cut an angle on it so it'll start in the mill. You always want to start the big end in the mill first. So you want to cut an angle on it. And that angle will let it start in between the rollers in the mill, because the rollers ain't but 1/8 of an inch apart.
We're about to crank up the sorghum press for the first time this year. Everybody's ready to roll.
This will be unloading.
Yeah. So I'm feeding, he's unloading.
Everybody's assigning each other with jobs.
Yeah, but it says on the thing.
Put your fingers in to get started.
How slow she's going. Just perfect. Oh, my shadow's gonna be really bad in the way. All right, here comes the first juice. Petey said I was jumping the gun. There it comes.
Take your hand off that shaft. That's my fault. You had your hand on it.
You know, according to OSHA, we're supposed to have covers in cars and all that stuff.
Okay.
What?
Oh, it's full already.
So let's look behind curtain number 1. The boys are making breakfast on the wood stove. What are we having, boys?
Sausage and eggs and what else, Thomas?
Burnt. That's the secret ingredient.
It's smoky in here. I'm fogging up.
The plan is sausage and eggs and then maybe some pancakes if we have time to make them.
Cool. Alright, so it is cooking morning and we've got the vat all cleaned out, or Daddy and Mr. Jared have the vat all cleaned out. And he's done took the ice. Whoops, it's raining. This is the first morning we've ever done molasses where it's actually raining. But we are under this tent, so hopefully it'll hold most of the moisture out of getting into it. So Daddy's taking the ice out. I'm under a drip. So Daddy's taking the ice out and we're about to bucket it into the vat. And Miss Lauren has the buckets. So we're ready to go.
You're going.
So the ratio of sorghum juice versus molasses is 10%. So we squeezed out just a smudge over 100 gallons of juice last night. This is a 100-gallon vat. So if we squeeze more than 100 gallons, it wouldn't fit. So we don't like to waste it. So at the end of the day, when this gets done cooking down, from 6 to 8 hours, we'll have 10%, which would be around 10 gallons of molasses. And we normally go a little bit over. We have good sugar content in our sorghum variety we use. So in the past years, we've been getting 11 to 12 gallons per 100 gallons of juice.
I got another question for you.
We did, yeah.
This pan, can you just go buy a pan like this, or? is it custom made?
We have to have one custom made. We've actually got some good family that lets us use this one.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to tell you what it is, and you better bring her the right one. Whew, it's getting warm.
This is a sorghum sky. This is what the sorghum's gonna look like biscuits like this when it's done. It is getting ready.
Oh, wow, that is so cool.
How fast do you think might
Now these bubbles has got to turn a little bit more brown.
Yeah, but there's
A little
so
bit.
much. They were really green when I first got here.
Hey Kathleen.
Hey.
All the boys, Papa.
Shove that pan under there. There's a lip in there. That
They're fixing to turn the pan under.
Shut it off from the fire, and then we'll actually start spraying the fire a little bit.
So they're starting to change. You can tell the difference in the color. So Joey, I got a question for you while you're so busy. How big's your vat?
It's 100 gallons,
And how much does it cook down to?
10 or 12 gallons normally.
And what temperature is he looking for?
We're looking for 230 degrees.
230 degrees.
We got about 218 again.
218.
Let's try that other one.
And Lacey's here with me. We got the jars, the tables, the pitchers all ready.
Let me tell you.
So we got 3 guys here having to do the job of Doug this year because he couldn't be with us.
I had elementary.
And we are just about ready to start pouring.
Got them blocks in the way out there.
This is for Doug.
Hold on.
Y'all say when.
All right, you go ahead. You can say it again.
This is for you, Doug.
Okay, hold on. All right.
This is for you, Doug.
This is for Doug.
Check out your mama.
Didn't have the cap off. Couldn't figure out why I wasn't getting that picture. Miracle, hand me that other picture.
Man, look at that stuff.
Can I have that? It's weird seeing molasses flow like water.
I wanted to show you we're all done, but I wanted to show you how shiny everything is in here. It's still got some leftovers down at the bottom, but that's how nice and clean everything got. That's how we started. Okay, Daddy, we're here at the cane mill, and one of the questions that we had was, is there anything else that you can use to do what this mill does?
No, like I said, it's got to crush that stalk, and this mill, it goes in 1/8. The first rollers is 1/8 an inch, which is real close where the stalk goes in, and there's just nothing that you could make or do that would crush it that small. And then when it comes out, it's just 1/16 between the last two rollers. So I just don't know of anything that you could use to do that with.
So I'm gonna try to get a picture. So that one is 1/8.
Yeah.
And here on the other side where it comes out, that is 1/16. And show them how big it is when it goes in.
This stalk is probably 1.25 inches across, and it's tough. I mean, it would be hard to mash. I mean, and that thing, you definitely don't want to put your finger in between that thing.
So the other thing it does, it don't just crush it. What else does it do?
Well, it kind of shreds it.
It shreds it.
Yeah, it just crushes all the fibers in it. Goes in like this and comes out like this. You can see where it's just pulp inside that stalk. It's just mashed it to nothing.
Then look how thin. Here's the side view of it, of how thin it mashes it. So the pulp inside, this part right here, is where the juice is. But it has to break up. All this is just shredded like lace. Then it crushes the inside and also shreds it to get all the juice out of it.
So even the joints, we had some new people the other day, and they was comparing this to bamboo, because it does kind of favor bamboo.
Yeah, it's related to bamboo.
The joints, but like I say, it's hard. You can hardly crush it with a hammer.
Right. Okay, here's our next question, is about what we pull the cane mill with. And we got this big giant engine here, and you're going to tell me what kind it is and why do we use this one.
This is a 671 Detroit, and the reason, it's a great big engine, but the reason we have to use this is because the horses don't walk but 3 rounds a minute pulling the cane mill. And the cane mill we got, we hooked a tractor to it, was turning like 27 rounds a minute, which was just shooting it out there and not getting all the juice out. So this is all we have that will get slow enough. It's got a transmission plus a high and low on it, like a truck had in it, and it turns the PTO. We got it down to like 5 rounds a minute, which we was happy with that. It ain't 3 rounds a minute like a horse would go, but it's pretty close. But
now, using this great big machine, what is this exactly?
well, it was a cab over truck originally. And like I say, it's a 671 Detroit. It's probably 220 horsepower, but we just idle it all the way down. And everybody thinks it burns a lot of fuel, but this thing, I poured 5 gallons in it, and we run 8.5 hours, and still got plenty of fuel in it, so it takes hardly any sitting there idling.
And the other thing is, it's such a powerful engine, and it's using just a tiny bit of fuel. If we did have a tractor that we could idle down that far, it would put that tractor in such a strain that tractor would be using a whole lot more fuel.
Yes, it would.
Because it's got to run for so long.
Take more fuel.
And this never, I mean, you'll come out here and rev it up every once in a while just for fun, but it's idling. When it's sitting there squeezing, it does nothing but idle. It's just sitting there doing nothing.
Yeah, be just like the truck is sitting at the truck stop at night with the heater on. That's the way it would be running, which you don't take very much fuel at all.
So before we got started, how did you clean this thing? It's been sitting all year. How did you get it clean?
I take go ahead and hook it to the engine and turn it, and then I take a wire brush on a drill, and I run over it and cut it's not real heavy rust, because it's just a light rust, and I clean it off till it's shiny with that wire wheel on the drill.
And we're running water through it the whole time. It's got warm soapy water running through it the whole time. It's all messy now because it's got the remnants of what we ran through it yesterday, but we're going to clean all that out. And how many hours did it take to cook down that 100 gallons of juice?
Right out 8 hours.
So we kept a fire going for 8 hours. And it has to get to a certain temperature. It's boiling all day long, and that's how many degrees? 212?
Around
212. So it's boiling at 212. So it's done when it gets what degrees?
230.
So it starts out as a green goo juice, and then it starts turning brown and gets darker, nice molassesy color as it gets to 230. And can you make sugar with it? No. Molasses is not made to do sugar with. It will not crystallize like a sugar cane will. So it's a liquid sugar. It will sometimes get hard in a jar, but you just use it as a liquid. And let's see, one of the questions is, do I sterilize the jars? Yeah, I sterilize the jars. A lot of people just get brand new jars and just use them, but we do sterilize them. And, how many gallons? We had 100 gallons of juice, and we made a record this year, but normally how many do we make?
Normally make around 11 gallons, but like I say, it's been dry here this fall, and there wasn't much water in the stalks, so it was more concentrated sugar content than it was water this time, so it cooked down to about 16 gallons.
16, so we're thrilled to death about that. And the difference was we tasted the juice. A lot of people just drink the green juice. And what we found this year from different people tasting it, that juice was sweet. Way sweeter than normal. So that was really something that was amazing this year, that the sorghum had just got just enough rain to still grow and be pretty, but they were still dry. So thank you, Joey.
You're welcome.
One of our other questions was, what do we do with the crush? This is what comes out after it's been squeezed. And this is the field. The sorghum was right there. We got 2 rows left. Okay, so what's going to happen is this week we're going to be knocking this all down and bush hogging it, and we will be planting a cover crop, and this is going to be worked into the soil. The animals don't really like this, so we don't feed it to them. We do feed some of the leaves that came off before. They like those, and they like the tops, so we feed that. But the crush all goes back into the soil, and right here where the crush is, that's where the sorghum's going to grow next year. So we're going to work this into the soil, put a cover crop on it too, and also run the chickens and the horse across it during the winter, so it can build the soil back up. So nothing is wasted. Everything goes back. We're regenerative farmers, and everything goes back into the soil to make the soil better. Every year it's improved. The sorghum takes away from the soil, but then it feeds it back, and that's the whole thing about regeneration. And this place was an old tobacco barn, an old tobacco farm, and it would barely grow a weed. And since we've been working with it for the past 10 years, it grows really good. Okay. It's not a hayride, it's a sorghum ride.
No, leave it right there.